Alex Carter had spent most of his life feeling like a failure. At 32, he was stuck in a dead-end job, barely making ends meet. His dreams of becoming a writer had long faded into the background, buried under the weight of bills, responsibilities, and the constant fear of not being good enough. He had tried once, many times actually. He had poured his soul into short stories, novels, even poetry, but the rejection letters piled up like unpaid bills, each one a painful reminder that maybe he wasn't meant for success. Maybe he was just average. So he stopped writing. His life became a cycle of waking up, going to work, coming home exhausted, and scrolling through social media, comparing himself to people who seemed to have it all. Successful careers, happy families, dream vacations. Every day felt the same. The fire inside him had dimmed, replaced by an unshakable numbness. Then, one evening, after another long day at his job at the call center, he arrived home to find a letter waiting for him. It was handwritten, with no return address. Curious, he tore it open. Dear Alex, I don't know if you remember me, but 15 years ago, you changed my life. Back in high school, I was the shy girl who sat at the back of our English class, afraid to speak up. I never believed I was good enough, and I was on the verge of giving up, on school, on writing, on everything. But one day, you noticed me sitting alone during lunch. You sat down with me, asked me what I was writing in my notebook, and actually listened. You told me my words mattered, that my stories deserved to be heard. No one had ever told me that before. That small act of kindness gave me the courage to pursue my dream. Today, I am a published author, living the life I always wanted, and it's because of you. I just wanted you to know. You made a difference. With gratitude, Emily Monroe. Alex read the letter again, his hands trembling. He had forgotten all about that moment. It had been just another day in high school to him, but to Emily, it had been life-changing. He let out a shaky breath as tears filled his eyes. For years he had convinced himself that his life didn't matter, that he had achieved nothing. But here was proof, undeniable proof, that he had made an impact. He wasn't a failure. That night, Alex did something he hadn't done in years. He picked up his old notebook, dusted it off, and began writing. But this time, it wasn't for approval. It wasn't for success. It wasn't to impress anyone. He wrote because his words had power, because if he had changed one life before, maybe he could do it again. And for the first time in years, he felt alive. A new beginning. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Alex wrote every day, not for a publisher, not for an audience, but for himself. The words flowed freely, unburdened by self-doubt. One evening, he found himself staring at a finished manuscript, a novel, his novel. With a deep breath, he took a leap of faith. He sent it out. And this time, something different happened. A month later, an email appeared in his inbox. Dear Mr. Carter, we loved your manuscript and would be honored to publish your novel. Let's discuss next steps. Sincerely, Harper and West Publishing. Alex stared at the screen in disbelief. His heart pounded, his hands shook. He had done it. It had taken years, failures, self-doubt, and one unexpected letter, but he had done it. And as he sat there, overwhelmed with emotion, he realized something. The moment he stopped measuring his success by the world's standards and started believing in his own worth, everything changed. He smiled, feeling the fire inside him burn brighter than ever. This was only the beginning. Moral of the story: Never underestimate the power of kindness. It can change someone's life. And never stop believing in yourself. Even when the world tells you you're not good enough, your story isn't over yet.